Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's July 15th, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing this morning? I hope you're well. Alright. Gene editing tool tried out on mammals. Have you ever heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh? No, just in case you haven't, I'm going to give you a little nutshell. I'm going somewhere with this. Gilgamesh was a tyrannical, I believe, Babylonian king, if not Babylonian, Sumerian. And he set out on a quest to find immortality. And much to his horror, he found that it was not a possibility, and he spent the rest of his life going crazy over the idea that someday he too would die. And this is a nutshell of it. You want to know about Gilgamesh, just look it up. It's very fascinating. You see, that is exactly what the ruling class are afraid of. Death. And as such, they are throwing their money at every possibility of immortality. Now, our ancestors, the Anunnaki, they had very, very long lives, but they still died. And we, too, can attain those very long lives through DNA. And that, of course, is really what this gene editing is about. So here we are at Blacklisted News, and the source is whowhatwhy.org. Gene editing may sound like another example of human beings trying to cheat nature. Who are we to decide which genes in which species should hold evolutionary advantage over another? And of course, the Anunnaki Council of Seven, along with Enlil and Enki and their sister, half-sister, had this very same argument. And that argument can be found in the Lost Book of Enki, just in case you would like to enlighten yourselves a little more. Yet scientists are making eye-opening progress in this field, although some worry that too little attention is being paid to the ethical implications. A group of researchers from the University of California, San Diego recently tested a radical gene editing technology called CRISPR for the first time on a mammal. CRISPR is a tool that boosts the chances of specific genes being passed along to the next generation with the goal of changing genes that cause diseases or other problems. In a study posted on July 4th on BioRx, a preprint repository for biology, the researchers used CRISPR to develop a mutation in lab mice that would turn their coats white. The results of the gene or genetic manipulation were impressive. The white coat trait, on average, appeared in nearly 3/4 of a female mouse's offspring, significantly higher than the usual 50-50 rate of inheritance for most genes. The process is hardly foolproof. It worked only in female embryos, and the mutation was sometimes incorrectly copied. This exact same thing, happened when Inky and the chief medical officer there for the Anunnaki were making the Adams and the Eves. Same exact thing. Don't believe me, just read the Lost Book of Inky. It tells it all. New website to add to my speed dial. It's always good to find new stuff, new information, new sources. If this thing would work for me, okay. So CRISPR, again, is a tool that boosts the chances of specific genes being passed along to the next generation. Nonetheless, researchers and geneticists hail this study as a breakthrough in gene editing and an important first step towards development of gene-drive technology in mammals. A recent study suggests that CRISPR could reprogram cancer cells to fight tumors. The method has produced some positive results in mouse models of recurrent breast and brain cancer. Now, don't get me wrong here. Technology is a double-edged sword. It's good or bad depending on how it is used. But allow me to point out that most of the technology is abused by the ruling class and their puppet scientists. Okay? It would be a fantastic thing if we could use these technologies to prolong people's lives, to eradicate disease. But this is not going to happen, at least not for the 99%. Like GMO, like fluoride, like stratospheric aerosol injection, and many other things. These things, this technology will be turned against us and used to cause us harm. So, CRISPR has already proved useful in dealing with a problem caused by an insect. A research team from Johns Hopkins has used the technology to breed malaria-resistant mosquitoes. The biological and environmental implications are enormous. Species lethal to crops and humans could be eradicated by modifying just a few genetic codes. Genes that lead to death or infertility could be edited. But experts in the field say that a lot more research and testing is needed before they would even entertain the idea of implementing CRISPR in the wild, let alone on humans. So, they're going to use this technology on us, and not to keep us alive, not to improve our bodies, which theoretically they could. They could make a short fellow like myself, 5'5", 5'6", something like that, taller. They could use it to boost IQ. They can do it for a lot of things, or use it for a lot of things, and good things. But how often is this the case? You hear me talk about the ruling class and these corporations doing things without ever considering the consequences, like putting Fukushima, the nuclear power plant there, in a earthquake and tsunami prone area. And maybe they did think of the consequences. Maybe that's why they put them there. But we can see this very same lack of thought across the United States. We can see it across the world. The lack of consideration of the consequences of these things. So, I thought I'd share this with you because, it is very fascinating on one hand, but on the other, what kind of monsters are going to be created with this technology? What kind of harm is going to come to the human population on this planet? I venture to say that if we don't have a major extinction level event, one of these scientific tools will provide just that. Hope everyone has a great day. And remember, kill the state before the state kills you.
I'll keep my head up, and you will end this.
I'm just getting warmed up. This is Von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war. I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.